look at coming off the play-in, celebrated too hard. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are picking the Grizzlies. I said it. I said this Grizzlies team is young. I said whoever's winning at halftime will win this game. Why? Because it's momentum and it's mentality. It's momentum and it's mentality. They had the momentum, and the Grizzlies did not have that mentality. Now, Ja Morant, he's a baller. We saw it. I love seeing T. Morant, his dad, and karl-Anthony Towns' dad on the sidelines. It reminds me of AAU games. It reminds me of, again, that family atmosphere. Yes, our sons are out there trying to kill each other on the court. But, man, this after the game, you know, they're going to text, they're going to talk later. We're still boys. Like, they know this atmosphere. They know this. And this is – we're seeing two young stars in Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards, and karl-Anthony Towns as well. But Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards specifically, we're seeing two young stars that are going to kind of catapult the NBA into its next, you know, venture, I guess you'd say, is LeBron at 37, Chris Paul at 37. It's almost time. You know, I remember watching Michael Jordan retire. I remember watching Larry Bird retire. It's almost time. It's sad. I remember seeing Kobe, you know, turn in the shoes. It's sad. Like it's a tough time when you're a sports fan and your stars leave the game. Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley. But now it's these new young guns. And I'm not saying the NBA is in great hands because we really don't know who's going to take over. Is it Giannis? We know Steph Curry's going to carry the torch for a while. Kevin Durant's going to be around for a little while. James Harden. But these new young stars, you know, what is their legacy going to be? Are they going to be able to sustain this star power? You know, can Anthony Edwards play at that clip every single night like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant in the playoffs? Can Anthony Edwards do that? You know, when I think about the 36 points of Anthony Edwards, and you look at Ja Morant's 32, here's the thing. They canceled each other out. Malik Beasley came out of nowhere to help that team. Now, karl-Anthony Towns definitely stepped up. He was the two guy. You know, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane, they just could not keep pace with Beasley and karl-Anthony Towns. And I've said that star for star has to cancel each other out. And I think Ja and Anthony Edwards did. 32 and 36, that's pretty much a wash. So Ja did his job. He stayed with Anthony Edwards as long as he could. The refs helped him out with some free throws, had a ton of free throws. But the other guys, the role players, they just could not get it going the way Beasley did. They could not get it going the way Cat was balling. He doesn't have a number two like Anthony Edwards and karl-Anthony Towns, the 1-2 punch. And D'Angelo Russell didn't even have to get going. That's what makes this team even scarier, that D'Angelo Russell at any point can turn it on if he wants. But he's playing the true point guard role, giving it to the hot hand. I always say bet with betonline.com when I tell you, because I feel it. Like, I can feel it. I felt that energy. I knew they were going to take it to the first game. But, Sam, what do you think about the Timberwolves in this dominant 130 to 117 victory where everybody's saying this is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies easy? But now the Timberwolves are showing everybody, hey, this is our season.
Yeah, I got to give you some credit, Ron, because I think you were all along skeptical of Memphis and their lack of experience. And you could say the same certainly about the Timberwolves, who really haven't been here either. But the Timberwolves looked like the more seasoned team on Saturday. They started faster. They ended faster. So the bookends of the game, they were by far the better team. They shot free throws much better. And that's always a mark in the playoffs. You know, who's going to make those clutch free throws? They obviously dominated at the three-point line. That was a huge difference in the game. And I think that's something that's sustainable because the Wolves are always going to shoot a lot of threes and make a lot of threes. And the Grizzlies are not as much that outside team. And you nailed it. Ja didn't get the help that Anthony Edwards got. I mean, the Wolves, of their arguably four best scorers, three of them were on fire. Beasley, Edwards, Cat. What a bounce back for Cat, by the way. And Russell's the only one who didn't really carry his weight, but 3 out of 4 isn't bad. And I felt like the Wolves just got to every loose ball, the 50-50 balls. They were hustling more. They were rebounding against a very good rebounding team. I thought the Wolves were the better rebounding team. So they played excellently. Now, are the Wolves going to have moments in this series where they don't play that well? probably. So how are they going to respond? How are they going to deal with that adversity? Because they didn't trail a whole lot in that game. They had a couple moments, though, Ron, where it seemed like the Grizzlies were coming. Tyus Jones and that second unit were kind of, racking up some points. And then the Wolves would hit a big shot. They'd go on a little run of their own, and they never seemed panicked. So I love their poise in that entire game from start to finish. They looked like they had been there before.
Yeah, and when you look at the box score, and so you look at Anthony Edwards, like I said, 36. You look at karl-Anthony Towns, 29. You got Pat Beverly giving an easy 10. You got D'Angelo Russell giving an easy 10. But Beasley, I mean, that's the one for me. That's the unsung hero. When you think about the threes he hit, the 23 points, that's huge. I mean, that 23 is huge. And the reason for it is every time the Grizzlies fans felt like they were back in it. Because I was listening. So I was at Lifetime Fitness. So I was listening, watching it on there while I was working out. And then as I'm in the car, I'm listening to, and I like to listen to it because I get an unbiased, or not unbiased, I get more of a biased opinion. But I was listening to the Grizzlies radio network for a little bit just to see where they were at mentally. Like, were they giving the Timberwolves credit? Were they blaming the Grizzlies for not being good? Because I felt like when the Jordan and the Bulls, whenever they would lose, it was always Jordan's fault. It was never the other team was better. It was Jordan didn't have a great night, or his team couldn't help him out. Jordan would score 40, the rest of the team would score 5. And if Jordan lost, he's got to find some team. Scotty's got to help him. Horace Grant's got to help him. You know, it was always never the other team was better. It was Jordan didn't do what he was supposed to do. And so listen to the broadcast. It was I don't even understand it. It was like they were completely awestruck and depressed, like the lack of energy in their calls, because every time it got close, like within 2 to 3, somebody on the Timberwolves would hit a big shot. And every time that happened, you could just hear them say, oh, they left them open. Yep. And it's in. That's 3. Ring it up. Yep. The Grizzlies just can't find a way to close this out. And so it was almost as if like Beasley's not good or Anthony Edwards is not great. They were blaming it on the Grizzlies defense, which, yeah, they over-rotated a lot. Karl-Anthony Towns, getting that dunk. And, again, an over-rotation. The guy rotates too far to the right. Karl sees it right away, goes in, dunks on the guy. He reaches for the ball, misses. Now you leave your interior exposed without somebody pushing him on the hip. You give a 7-footer a free lane. And I wish Karl-Anthony Towns, and I hope, as he realizes the three's not going, stop shooting threes, set them up with a pump fake, and then drive. Go make the refs make the call. Make it tough on them. Same with Anthony Edwards. Don't be afraid to take it. I felt like sometimes he bailed himself out and just took open threes for no reason when he could have just 4 or 5 dribbles, take an easy jump shot, or go dunk on somebody. That's going to be the thing down the stretch. Now you have that game 1. Don't get too confident and think, okay, we got game 2, because Tuesday, the Grizzlies are thinking the same thing. If we go down 2-0 in this series, we probably don't have a chance to really win, because now we got to go to Minneapolis and we got to play with their crowd, who's going to be absolutely nuts and crazy and loud and cheering these guys on. Because if they win in 4 at home, you thought the play-in celebration was big? Oh my goodness. They win in 4. It's going to be absolute bonkers. Put the police out on the streets, make sure nobody riots. I don't think it's going to be a crazy riot, but I think there will be some people out there celebrating in the streets, excited. Now, again, you got to go play the Warriors. But again, celebration momentum. I'm not going to overlook it. I think it's what got them in this first game, and hopefully they have enough energy to sustain this and keep going.